And welcome back to another episode of The Credit Authority. Once again, I am your host, Rhonda Kulch, and I am so glad that you tuned in today. We start our segments by thanking our sponsor. So thank you so much to Equity First. If you are experiencing credit and or financial challenges, consider reaching out to any one of their trained professionals. They're bilingual, nationwide, and looking forward to taking your call. They can help you out personally, or if you are a business, touch base with them today at 631-714-4822. And today's segments are all about women's empowerment. We've had some amazing guests, and we have another one in the studio with us right now, my friend Jean Marie Pheifer. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today, Rhonda?
Good. So, we've had you on the show before, and we love women's empowerment. People will say to me, Jean Marie, doesn't Jean Marie own a cleaning company? What does a cleaning company have to do with, with your industry? And I tell them all the time, she's a business owner. Your company professionally does amazing work, but we're focused on who you are and how you grow your business.
Right.
So congratulations. You've had some tremendous success. And over the last, few years, I'm just watching you grow and grow and grow. So let's talk about what it takes to be a leader in your space.
Balls.
I love it. I love this girl.
Actually, this morning, somebody asked me, how do I get past, like that, I forgot the word, like not feeling good enough and like overcoming those obstacles.
It's like challenges.
Yeah. I forgot the word that she used, and I was like, that's a really good question, and me and Rhonda could talk about that later. And now I don't remember what the question was. But what I went back to is like the simple principles in like the things that I've learned in other aspects of life, and how like embracing growth and all that stuff. And like that's what it is, like standing in front of people or just being somebody who can offer somebody else advice. It's embracing those moments, those failures, and like just getting uncomfortable and showing them how I've done that and how it's actually worked to my benefit. I'm not close enough. But things like that, like that's what I found makes it easier, because we have this networking group, Let's Talk Dirty, and I get together with business owners across Long Island and now across the country. I don't look to mentor people across the country, but I could. And a lot of it is just like, I did this and this really hurt, but if you hold on tight enough, like this was the result of it.
Right.
And then continuing to do that. I'm embracing I'm about to turn the entire company upside down to cause growth. And like the preparation's happening.
I'm looking at your face, and you have to understand, and I know what you're saying. There are plenty of times that I myself, as well as other colleagues of mine, you use the word starting fresh. It's a clean slate. Sometimes it's not that the people that have helped you get from point A to point B are no longer relevant, but you don't want to be at point B when you want to go to point C and D. Right. So in order for you to have growth, and I've had this conversation so many times with people, and they'll ask me, is it okay to leave people behind? And it is, because not that you don't respect them, but they're not helping you on your journey to becoming the next level, right? Or becoming the new version of who you are. There are so many people that I have met in our community, right? Especially in our business community, where it doesn't matter where I go, they are always going to be in exactly the same spot that I found them in 15 years ago.
Yep.
They're still in the same spot. And that's okay if they have success in that space. But when you are a driver and you are an entrepreneur, there is no way that and I'm looking right at you, there is no way that you could be happy staying in that space. If I am not learning something new every day, and if I am not making new relationships every day, and if I am not constantly looking for the next mentor or person that I admire and want to be like, I would just die on the inside.
Yeah, I probably spend a solid 2+ hours a day listening to something that makes my brain think and grow. And like, it could be something I've already heard 10 times, but today it applies to a situation that happened yesterday, whereas 3 years ago when I heard it, it didn't have any relevance. Or my brain just wasn't ready to absorb it yet. And that's constantly like the never ending self-improvement. And again, that conversation I had this morning, I said, like, some people really like that comfortable, predictable life, and they could find success in that. But I would be so uncomfortable. I wouldn't know what to do. Like,
I'd be bored.
Yeah. That's why there's 7 kids. Like,
Yeah,
because I don't know.
Look, I was done having kids, so I built a farm, you know,
Right.
so, you know, it's a new layer of, you know, I call it crazy. It's my crazy, right? Like, how many people have said to you, you're a business owner and you have this large family. Like, how do you make that happen? And it becomes your normal, right? I have 5 kids and I have a man-child as a husband, and I have projects and businesses and, you know, of my farm. But if I didn't live my life with so much going on, I don't think that I would be fulfilled.
Right.
Right?
That's the exact same thing.
So you have a large family, you have a business that is very demanding. What advice do you give to people, or for yourself for that matter, on how to have days where you just decompress?
Ooh, I've just started to learn how to do that, more so like on a regular basis. But it came with having to learn how to delegate work out to other people. And a big, like, glaring example of that was recently the last time Lucas was hospitalized. And I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not working. I'm going to show up as a mom today, regardless of what you need from me. And what would happen is something would come up and I'd give 5 minutes on Zoom and I'd record it and send it out. I'm like, don't ask me another question about it. You can figure out the rest. I hired you. Like, I'm putting you in this position. I trust you to do it. And I do the same thing at home with the older children. Like, I've taught you how to do this. Now here's the reins to go do it. I no longer need to hold your hand for you to be able to accomplish this. And with that, it allows me to have those moments where I'm just like, I could sit by my pool and listen to a book with my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I don't care who's trying to reach me. It's cool.
Sometimes you need those moments, right? Because if you don't take time to recharge, you will burn out.
Yeah.
Right. And then that, I think, is always the biggest fear, at least for myself. You know, clients will call me every day and they're like, you just made me feel so much better. I feel so much more confident, or you've given me purpose or vision. And, you know, it's a feel good moment, you know, for what I do for clients. And my response is take advantage of the fact that today I am awesome. Because if tomorrow is my day of burnout, I will be of no value to you.
Right.
Right? No value. Even as a mother and as a wife, there are those times where I just need to have alone time. And I think it's okay, because as a female, we put so much pressure on ourselves to be the best mom, the best, you know, provider, the best friend, right? Or sibling, daughter, you know, all those things about who we are as women. But at the end of the day, if we're not taking care of ourselves, I think that is probably one of the biggest challenges that other female entrepreneurs and I speak about, is that whole process of being able to just kind of turn it off for a little bit. Now, when you are in, let's talk about creative mode. When you are thinking about being creative, what steps, what does that look like for you?
Ooh. It usually is just something that gets triggered by somebody else. Like, I'll be having a conversation, you'll say this, and I am someone who immediately, like, okay, we're going to make 5 phone calls and we're going to line this up and we're going to start letting it play out on its own, because I'm going to be distracted by 10 other things. But it's a lot of just like getting the ball rolling with the creativity, and then I circle back to it and I circle back to it. And that's like not taking on the whole world at once is given me the ability to do that, because it's just like those little steps towards it. Some people have to like dive in, and that is like all consuming. My life would fall to pieces if that was the way I navigated things. So it's just a lot of like, I have this, I wrote it down, I set the goal, we're going to do it. If it's 10 minutes today, 15 minutes tomorrow, eventually it all comes together. Yeah.
And I think what happens too, and that's awesome, because I think what happens also is as you're growing, you'll notice that your centers of influence will change as well. And when you have a great idea, other people that you value share those ideas as well, right? So, you know, even you and I, like, we work together with some of the same people. We are strong as one, but we are united right? When we're working together to get things and achieve them, right? We've worked on projects. I know that you did a fantastic job with the Easter baskets. You can't do it alone, right? But I will be the first to tell you, it took everybody there to give everything that they had, to be selfless, to give to somebody else, right? And just watching other organizations, people have to respect what you're doing and who you are in order to help you grow. So last question for the sake of time, what advice are you giving to other entrepreneur women?
Embrace the failures, because they're not actually failures. Like, that's the biggest thing. Just embrace the failures.
And you know what happens to you? It's like the theme today, right? You've heard the other women. Everybody goes, look, I didn't get to where I am today by luck. I got here by learning. Yeah. And the only way that I was able to learn was through my failures, because they grew who I was as a woman business owner. So with that in mind, once again, we are speaking today with my girlfriend, Jean Marie Pheifer. If you are looking for the best cleaning company on Long Island, Shore to Shore Cleaning, and how do they reach you?
Hi, you guys can reach us. You can give the office a call, 631-830-2899, or you can find us Instagram, Facebook, Yelp, all over social media, Shore to Shore Cleaning.
I love it. Stay tuned. Bringing on our final guest.